The Toronto Raptors might have their sights set on Kevin Durant. The Raptors are a potential landing spot for KD. Per Jake Fisher, as Jake Fisher said in his latest piece, Toronto has likewise been painted by numerous NBA figures as a potential trade suitor for Durant, particularly if Antetokounmpo doesn't reach the open market. The Raptors, furthermore, would figure to have a more realistic shot at assembling a competitive trade offer for Durant compared to the mammoth offers that the Bucks would inevitably seek for Antetokounmpo's services. So could the Raptors have a plan B? If the Raptors don't wind up getting Antetokounmpo, could they end up with Kevin Durant? In this video, I'm going to take a look at what a potential Raptors trade could look like for Kevin Durant and if it makes sense for this team. If y'all can be solid, drop a like on the video and smash that subscribe button for more Raptors updates and content just like this. So the Raptors, we know, they have been heavily linked to Giannis Antetokounmpo as of late. However, the Milwaukee Bucks superstar has not yet requested a trade. A player who is more of a sure bet to get traded this summer is Kevin Durant. According to Shams, the Suns will work with Durant and his business partner, boardroom CEO Rich Kleiman, on his next landing spot. And that landing spot could be Toronto, as Fisher believes there is an opportunity there. And when you look at a potential trade for KD, unlike a trade for Antetokounmpo, the Raptors would not have to break the bank to trade for KD, who will turn 37 in September. And you look at the Suns, they have reportedly lowered their asking price for Durant, and they are prioritizing acquiring a center for him. That was another report thrown to us by Matt Moore. So taking all of that into consideration, what could the framework for a potential trade for Durant look like? Well, you're probably looking at RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, and the number 9 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Barrett and Poeltl would be key here in matching the $54 million salary Durant is owed next season. Barrett, the younger player, going back to Phoenix. Phoenix would get their desirable center in Poeltl, and then they get their draft capital, the number 9 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. So when you look at this trade, there are a couple of question marks. Now, for starters, I am not concerned about Kevin Durant's age. Even though he's going to be 37 years old before next NBA season gets underway, Kevin Durant, he has not shown that he is significantly declined. He is still one of the premier bucket getters in the NBA. He's a plug-and-play player, meaning he can fit in anybody's system and contribute at a high level. And you would have Kevin Durant, Scottie Barnes, and Brandon Ingram. The Raptors would be going all in on those three. And again, you wouldn't have to fork away a whole ton to get a guy who could potentially lead you deep in the postseason. Now, here are the drawbacks and the question marks that would come with this potential trade. Number one, the Raptors would lose their only true center in Jakob Poeltl. And we all recall the days when the Raptors didn't have a true center. That was tough. And if the Raptors lose a center, they're going to have to be in the market for another one, because I do think they would need to play a true center. Like, you have a big lineup of Scottie, BI, and KD, but you need a center in that lineup. In this scenario, they're giving up their only true center, that is Jakob Poeltl. The other question is, you look at the potential fit with Kevin Durant and Scottie Barnes. I think that would be wonderful. But Kevin Durant with Brandon Ingram, very similar. I mean, Brandon Ingram early in his career was compared to a Kevin Durant type player, and he still does resemble Kevin Durant's game a lot. Would that be necessarily a great fit? And then another thing to take into consideration is Kevin Durant is an unrestricted free agent next summer. So the Raptors would have to feel very good about signing him to his next deal. We know Kevin Durant. You never know what that guy's thinking next. So after one season, if the Raptors did trade for him and it didn't go well, Is he going to take off again and go sign with another team? I mean, the Raptors do trade for him. You would get the impression that Masai and company, they have a strong feeling and impulse that they would be able to ink Durant to what could be the final deal of his career. I mean, again, he's 37 years old. I don't think he's going to play as long as LeBron into his 40s. I think another 2 to 3 seasons max from Durant, and that's it. So those are all things to think about. And then the final piece to all of this, as I'm just, laying it all out here, is Kevin Durant the piece to get this Raptors team over the top? We have seen, especially towards the later stages of his career, is Kevin Durant that 1A anymore? I mean, we saw it with Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Never panned out, never worked out, couldn't lead them on a deep playoff run. I think in this stage of his career, Kevin Durant is more suited to be a piece rather than the alpha to lead your team to the NBA Finals. Like, he's a guy who would be the perfect secondary piece next to an already bona fide superstar, an Ant Edwards, a Victor Wembanyama. The Raptors don't have that, right? Like, Scottie Barnes, I don't think he's that guy. And Brandon Ingram, I think that's a lot to ask for him, considering the guy has been injury prone and he's many seasons removed from his lone all-star appearance. So is Kevin Durant going to be the savior of the Raptors and the missing piece to get this team over the top? I don't know. Now, again, it is Kevin Durant. I still think he is one of the best players in the game. He is certainly still a top 15 player in this game. We continue to see it, how deadly of a player he is, and he would instantly raise this team's ceiling. But is he the big fish that the Raptors should try going for that is going to push them over the top? That is the $1 million question. I mean, I can see this realistically happening if Antetokounmpo doesn't become available and the Raptors are really desperate of trying to obtain a win now star, because it's clear to me, like, Masai and company, they want to win. Like, there is no more patient approach. How much of this is Masai feeling the pressure that this is a contract year and there's this expectation now of, having to prove yourself, having to go out there and perform? Like, it seems like there is no more room for error or being patient. Like, you can tell just based on the reports that we've seen, the Raptors heavily involved in the Giannis talks, now involved in the KD talks. Like, Masai clearly wants to make a move here. There was even the report of Cam Johnson. Like, I think Masai, in his contract year, he wants to go out swinging. Like, he doesn't want to be on the sidelines anymore. He's seen what his former Raptors have done in this postseason with Anunoby, Siakam, couple wins away from another NBA title. Like, he's no longer patient, and it's evident. Like, he wants to go out there and go get a big-time player, big-time fish, like Windhorst initially reported, and put this Raptors team in a position where they can do something next season. It's going to be a matter of who that big fish is. So I think target number one is still Giannis, if I had to guess. But if he doesn't become available, this could be the plan B. And again, Masai could be thinking KD if he doesn't want to break the bank and part ways with a guy like Scottie Barnes, because that's the only way you get Giannis Antetokounmpo, in my opinion, is if you part ways with Scottie. So if Masai wants to save the Scottie project, doesn't want to necessarily give up a ton of assets, this could be the alternative plan that we see them take. KD has been linked to the Raptors before. There's obviously big history there. KD, fond of Toronto, all that stuff. So could this come to fruition? I mean, I'd rather the Raptors go after Giannis, but if Giannis doesn't become available, you might have to make good on what's available and out there. And we know KD, he will be traded. It's a matter of when, and all arrows are pointing to before the NBA draft. So we'll see how this one plays out. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop a like in the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. That's it for me. So we can sign off. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all again in the next one.